Ever since semi-affordable 4K computer monitors were announced, I've wanted to get one. Not for gaming, because I was pretty happy with my 23-inch 1080p LED. I'm a graphic designer and photographer by trade, and it's frustrated me for years how hard it is to get type to look as good on screen as it does printed. I've lost countless hours zooming in and out trying to tweak minute details just because my screen has a pretty low DPI. I considered 1440p, but that would only increase my DPI by about 10%. Didn't really seem worth it. Going from around 100 DPI to over 160 DPI with a 27-inch 4K monitor would be a significant upgrade. There were two problems though. Most early 4K monitors were less than $1,000 and they had crappy TN panels running at 30 Hz or dual display technology to run at 60 Hz, or they were over $3,000 and excellent. As much as I wanted to be an early adopter, I didn't want to be stuck with a bad refresh rate and crummy colors. I'm a designer, bad colors aren't an option. I need to wait for an affordable monitor that used the superior IPS display technology like the monitor I was currently using, albeit at 1080p. I'm glad I waited though, because in November, Dell announced the P2715Q, which I know is a really memorable name. It's a 4K IPS 60 Hz single panel monitor. It listed for $700, but due to some clever coupon stacking from the forums over at Slick Deals, I was able to pre-order one for $500. It took 3 weeks to arrive, and the entire time I was really worried that my current build wouldn't be able to game at decent frame rates. I'm using an i5 3570K quad-core processor, overclocked to 4.5 GHz, 16 gigs of memory, and a Gigabyte R9 290 graphics card. Not a bad system, but if you spend any time on r/build-a-PC or any other PC gaming forum, you've probably heard that you can't game at 4K resolutions with anything less than an SLI setup with $10,000 of graphics cards, or that you need quad titans cooled by liquid nitrogen, or what you really want is a crappy TN monitor with crappy colors that can run at 144 Hz because your opinion's wrong and you don't know anything and real PC gamers play at 120 Hz at least. Well, those people are wrong. Gaming at 4K isn't that hard, not even close. All the footage in this video was recorded while gaming at 4K. I could only record 1080p because my recording hard drive and CPU bottleneck when I try to capture 4K. Still, you should be able to appreciate how smoothly these games are running. Some are running on ultra, some at very high, but nothing is running below medium settings. On 4K, medium still looks amazing. The sharpness and clarity has to be seen to be understood. I don't care if you've downloaded hundreds of super sampled screenshots or 4K direct captures, until you've seen a 4K monitor in person with a 4K picture on it, you won't understand. Most games looked great with anti-aliasing turned off since the pixel density is so large. That helps performance a lot. Unless you're really sensitive to aliasing, you'll probably never notice. I think that most games I tested looked better running on medium or high settings at 4K than they did at ultra at 1080p. I can appreciate textures the way the artists intended them to be seen, and in-game models have a much greater 3D quality to them. I know it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic, but it's really that good. I think that if you're willing to compromise the visual settings a little, you will enjoy medium at 4K much more than ultra at 1080p. It's not all a smooth ride, of course. There are many well-publicized issues with desktop scaling and readability on 4K displays. I've been running Windows 7 since it released, but I upgraded to 8.1 only 3 days after receiving this monitor. The desktop scaling isn't perfect in 8.1, but its magnitude's better than 7, and it's very livable. 7 was basically unusable. I'm hoping Windows 10 is a further upgrade though. If you're considering a 4K display, I wouldn't be scared. Even 1440p and 1080p scale nicely if you have to lower your resolution to get good frame rates, and you will definitely appreciate the visual difference when you're able to game at 4K. So if you guys have any questions about making the switch to 4K or how well certain things run, feel free to ask me. Have a great day.